Why defensive? You always skip them. Dude, defensive is the best group to go with humanist ever. You get this crazy policy that gives you minus 25% land attrition and war exhaustion reduction. And on top of that, your group itself is good. You have morale, you have maneuver, you have cheaper troops, you have cheaper forts, you have and the most important thing is actually reinforcement speed and well, no more land attrition reduction at the end now, but back in the day there were another 25% to go with this one, which makes the whole group the best actually at offensive. Like, imagine this, you stand at people's land, you take 50% less attrition back in the day. Now it's 25, but it's still good. And then you have reinforcement speed. You know those, sometimes when your enemy has a defensive or whatever, and then your troops, your 1k standing on it becomes 999. Reinforcement speed prevents that problem. It always keep your troops reinforced, and after a big battle, also keep your troops reinforced to full strength quicker. And these are important things when you're attacking. And that's the thing, like, you know, defensive is unironically better at attacking than offensive. It only miss out on siege ability, but like the group itself is good. And morale, 15% is important. If someone takes defensive and you don't, you will be losing out on morale and you will have a tough time beating him, unless you have good discipline, right? And here's another thing. If you are fighting someone like Spain and France, and they take defensive, you have no chance. You have no fucking chance. Like, I'm not even joking. Just try it. Especially back when France has 20% morale from national ideas. You don't stand a chance when you fight them without defensive and they've taken it, because they have 40% morale over you. It's like you need it just to even the odds. And of course, the opposite is true too. In early game, morale is king, right? If you have defensive and the enemies don't, you can beat much bigger stack with your smaller stack quite easily because of defensive ideas. Okay, what should I be doing here? I occupied most of European Russia and get 50 war score only. What the hell? The game is lagging. Maybe I should just use tribal conquest and get the show superiority instead. This is taking so long. Well, please. I would actually tell you that, how about you just go and try it out? Like, I was like you. I used to be very fucking skeptical about defensive ideas myself. Like, for real. I used to be extremely skeptical. And I liked quality, I like to stack morale and all that crap. But then later on, like, the thing is with that, it's like a meme build, right? Like, of course you can stack more discipline, all that stuff, But and then you can be Prussia as anybody, you know, economics, quality, ideas, all that. But then when you actually play the game, like in different ways, like you're not playing HRE, stuff like that, then you realize you don't have the luxuries to, you know, do meme builds. And defensive is a general good build. Even if defense only have 15% morale, it's a good pick. Well, it depends. Edgy, if it is only 15%, I wouldn't take defensive the entire group just for it. But yeah, if you're only doing it for early game, sure. But I would argue the best part is, after the morale, is the reinforcement speed and attrition reduction. Because these two essentially makes it a budget quantity. Or rather, quantity still gives you more manpower, but defensive gives you less manpower, and the trade-off is that you get more morale. So quantity is pure manpower build. Quality is pure pure battle build. And defensive is a mixture of a bit of quality and a bit of quantity. So that's why it makes it so versatile, because if your country have no national ideas for quality, taking quantity doesn't make a lot of it still makes sense, but look at Russia. They always lose battles. They just literally keep throwing people, you know, in the meat grinder and try to win it that way. And a lot of countries can work like that, but it's just not good. And quality, like if you play Prussia, I would say quantity is even more important than quality, because what's the point in having the best troops in the world when you can only field 30k? When France has like 200, you're not gonna beat 200 with 30. So as a small country, quantity is important. And defensive is basically giving you both of that. You get a bit of morale to offset the early game, you know, to tip the early game battle to your balance. And then you get the offensive part where you can save some manpower and things. Early game 50 morale is huge. Yeah, exactly. It's like actually going between Tech 3 and Tech 4. Nutrition reinforcement better in the long run. Yeah, because you will lose manpower at some point, especially early game, like you just said. And here's another fun part. Do you guys, if you play a normal nation, have a look after a big war, how much of your manpower loss is in attrition? I've played this game for many years, and I can tell you, in a lot of wars, attrition kills more men than your battles. And that's why it is more important. And of course, with more manpower, you can not use the annoying mercs that requires a shit ton of micro, and then, you know, the stacks don't coordinate and all that stuff. And you can start building up your professionalism, which is just extra siege ability and some combat ability. So it is, you know, it's about how you play at the end, of course. You can just go full mercs until the very end, then nobody's gonna say that's a wrong thing to do. Hey folks, is Worldcoin still possible? What's up, noob? And the answer to that is yes. You should see. We took over this in 100 years. So yes, this is possible. This is not the first day I'm doing stuff like this. It might not look like it right now, but we're gonna get faster and faster. We are gonna get faster and faster and faster, like the Titanic sinking. Prefers defensive over quality. Yeah, that's what I said, because quality is a meme build. Quality is for meme builds, or actually as a top-up at the very end, I would say. like, quality itself is just terrible. Like, when you look at quality, it's like, oh, 10% compatibility. Yeah, that's like 10% more damage. Sure, not really great, right? Like 10% is like, if you have 10k, just put 1k in, more 1k more. And then you have like discipline, which of course multiplies it, but it's like, yeah, sure. How about I just get more artillery? Rarely play with meaningful navy and have it for ships. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. But I mean, it's the theme is quality, right? So that it makes sense. But you're right in that sense too, because like defensive is just pure land, right? Defensive is just pure land battles and manpower. Quantity is all about numbers. Offensive is about sieging. So it's like quality is like a weird spot. But of course, if you want meme builds with like innovative and economics, then you need to take quality. But again, that's a meme build. That's not even a good build. No respectable blobber is gonna take quality early on. Like, you're just gonna run out of manpower, run out of force limit, run out of morale early game. Your discipline wouldn't even matter. Alright, here we go, chat. Here we go. Quality suck ass. Well, quality don't suck ass late game. It's like, if I am fighting a France, like at my current position, if next group I buy is actually going to be quality. Like, I'm not even joking. The next group I'm buying is quality. The reason being that I have quantity, right? I have numbers, I have defensive, I have the morale. And now, if I'm going to fight these guys head on with equal numbers, especially European majors like France and Spain, I need the quality. Not to mention my nomadic units suck ass now. Like, I'm getting into the point where nomadic units is really obsolete. Like, we will need that quality. Okay. Russia.